So consensus, I apologize.
Put on the agenda.
Okay, I was gonna say, I see other things here, but if we wanna put that on the agenda as is, then we'll do that.
Yeah,
Send changes to the man.
Okay.
The man.
all right, discussion of crime-free housing.
Madam Mayor, I don't know if Trustee Brown wants to speak on this.
Yeah, just very briefly.
What do you say?
Just
We don't have the documentation. We have no documentation.
just very briefly, I understand that the ordinance has not made it into this packet for various reasons. I just want to, apparently, I talked about revenue the last time, and a lot of stuff about revenue came on the agenda this time. So I just want to stress how important it is for us to adopt an ordinance similar to this so we can focus on public safety.
Okay.
Public safety is the single most important issue, and we need to make this a priority. I know for the last meeting, there's another act of violence within the village, actually just outside our corporate limits, and we need to start preparing for the spring and summer that's coming ahead. We need to
Okay.
have an ordinance in place like this so we can have a private right of action for landlords to take care of problem tenants
Okay,
who are
so,
problem us in the village.
yes, sir?
In relation to this, we heard from the manager, and he's absolutely correct. I mean, to implement a program of this magnitude requires resources. He even mentioned it earlier about the need to have maybe a police officer. You've got to have somebody to help enforce this. We need to have training sessions. We need input also from the multi-unit general managers. We should have a workshop and invite them to comment on the whatchamacallit, and because they're the ones that are going to be responsible for it, and so it would be very valuable, I would think, to have them come to us and provide some input. So, I think we need to get a copy of what is being proposed to all of them, and let them,
Okay.
and we should listen to what they have to say.
Great, okay. So we want to bring this, well, we won't put this on the next one then, because we're not ready. Okay, but I do want trustee Oscar Brown's ideas, when he was saying safety and input and revenue, so we'll discuss that, trustee Oscar Brown. Okay, 5A11, discussion ordinance of the Village University Park of the counties amended chapter 890 and 892 of the Title 4 of Part 8 of the Codified Ordinance in the Village University Park, amending the rate of tax imposed under the municipal occupational tax and municipal service occupation tax. So that's sales tax.
Okay, thanks.
Moving it up from 1% to what? 2%. 1% is going up 1%. Is that a go for the next? Okay, great. Is that a go?
Let's go.
All right, thank you. 5A12, discussion real estate transfer increase. Oh, this is that $4. Yeah, just $4, yeah. Is that
Yes,
Trustee Payton?
yes, Mayor, thanks.
Yes, sir.
I don't have a problem. Well, first of all, I'd like to put some things in perspective here on this real estate transfer tax. In going through the information, Park Forest has $5 per thousand, Country Club Hills has $5 a thousand, Glenwood has $5,000 a thousand, Chicago Heights has $4 a thousand, and Harvey has $4 per thousand as a real estate transfer
What do we
tax.
have right now?
What ours is $1.
Wow.
So, but that's what's in here. What is not in here, what is not in here is this. Richmond Park, Crete, Monee, Matson, Olivia Fields, Homewood, Flossmoor, Sauk Village, Beecher, Linwood, Green Garden, Lansing, Hazelcrest, Tinley Park, Orland Park, and Frankfurt have no transfer stamp tax. Okay? East Hazelcrest has a flat $25. Dalton has a flat $10. So most of the communities that surround us, except for Park Forest and Chicago Heights, because Club Hills is quite a ways away, and so is Glenwood, don't even have a tax. So, you know, I'm in real estate, and, but, you know, I'm looking at the citizens of University Park. So you want to sell your property, you got to pay more to sell your property. It's bad enough when you're leasing the property, what I consider to be a tax, it was $250 for an inspection. That to me was just, you know, and when I mentioned that to other folks, they said, well, it's just like a tax, isn't it? Yes, it is, you know.
I remember they did that many years.
Yeah, so, you know, if we need to, and we need to quantify also, so if we increase, and there's no proposal here as to what it should be, but if we increase it from $1 to $2, how many transactions are there in University Park a year? 60 maybe? I could go pull the information, but
What I was saying is that came about because it was brought to my attention. We got, one of the big municipal industrial park areas was sold, and the taxes we would have gotten, we got 100, we got 1,000, we got 100,000. We could have gotten had our costs been a little bit higher.
yeah.
So we took a big bite, a loss, big loss.
Well, we could create an ordinance that's different, you know, from a commercial
Right,
versus residential, but, you know, it's kind of a kick in the teeth.
Okay.
You know, when somebody wants to sell it, you know.
Right.
Now, some communities, they split the tax. So, for example, what is it? I think Calumet City, the buyer pays half and the seller pays half.
Right.
Chicago, it's a similar thing, it's split between the buyer and the seller. The buyer pays 70% and the seller pays 30%. But most of the communities around us have no transfer tax.
So why don't we just change that, trustee, and that makes good logical sense for real estate tax to have.
Commercial.
Residential versus commercial.
Yeah,
Okay.
because one deal would pay for all of the
Right.
aggravation for, you
That
know,
one we
residential
lost, it
properties,
was
right?
like, another one was close to $1 million.
Right,
So that was commercial.
right.
So why don't we just, attorney, look at that? Yeah.
Yes, because one of the things, the village manager wanted this to be brought forward, just for discussion, to see, take the pulse of the board, if you will. And he asked me to just explain briefly the procedures that would have to occur. If the board were to decide to move forward to increase the real estate transfer tax, there'd have to be a public hearing, which would be held during a regular meeting. Notice would have to be published. Afterwards, the proposed increase would have to go on a referendum to the voters to approve an increase. Just like it had to go, a referendum had to go before the voters to approve the tax, creation of the tax in itself. An increase would also have to go for a referendum. So he was trying to get a pulse to see whether or not he wanted to proceed and maybe move forward in this process. The research I have done, I don't know, I don't believe we'd be able to separate it out as commercial or industrial as compared to residential, but I will research that further.
Yeah, well, I mean, we could have both, but one being higher than the other, because, you know, tax rates are that way. The residents pay a certain percentage and the corporations pay a bigger percent, right?
Yeah.
First, I'll just say I am in favor of the raising the transfer tax by some amount. But a better question, could you have like $1 for the first, for per thousand up to 100,000, and everything after 100,000 do $5, and after that $10? That way you're capturing income for the industrial park.
Wow.
I don't believe so.
Wow.
That is a very good example.
Trustee Watts, the brand.
There's a way to capture industrial profits.
Right. The ability to have a real estate transfer tax for a village is provided by statute for home rule entities. If you're not a home rule entity, you can't even have a real estate transfer tax. That's one of the reasons why some municipalities vote to become home rule, is for that purpose. So the village is restricted on what they are able to, not able to provide for a new transfer tax, for an increase. But I'll research whether or not we're able to delineate between commercial and residential or industrial, and whether or not Correct, it's an increase.
Okay. All right. So what we'll do is we'll look at that, change it, as he said. Research this, okay?
We're gonna hold this, right?
Yes, we'll hold it, okay? Okay, discussion resolution in
Oh,
your,
what? I got you.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, we kind of skipped over 5A11. There was no discussion, we just said we're gonna move it.
The go, oh, the tax.
Yeah,
On the
so I
real
just
estate.
wanted a little discussion, so when people watch the
I
video.
thought we did it, I'm sorry.
Ain't nobody gonna watch this video for 4 hours.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they gonna watch it.
If not, they really don't matter. That ain't got nothing to do with it.
You all said move to the agenda.
Oh, yeah, but we didn't discuss it. I
Okay.
mean, I want to discuss it, the residents don't know what we're
Okay,
talking about.
the title 4A for codified with attorney, it's just with taxes, occupation retail taxes.
It's,
Sales tax, that's what it said.
So I see
Sales
some
tax
is
will go to
2%.
the proposal is to raise them to 2%.
sales tax 2%, yeah, that's what.
Exempt from sales taxes are sales of food for human consumption to be consumed off premises, prescription, non-prescription medicine and drugs, medical appliances, those sorts of items are not included. But this is a taxes, I should say, that already are in place, it's to increase it by 1%.
So really, it only applies basically to gas stations, because we ain't got nothing else here.
I ain't doing it, like the man said, he got family on next door, so that's why I ain't coming.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, next thing. Where are we going here? Okay, 5813, discussion resolution, University Park. Will the Cook County, Illinois, authorizing and approving a resolution to utilize motor fuel tax funds for maintenance under the Illinois Highway Code for pavement marking, sidewalk and concrete removal and replacement and materials rock salt. So, break it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we know it's just, it's a letter flow. I'll let
Yeah,
you
it's
explain. Letter that-
resolutions that need to be passed by the Board of Trustees in order for the village to utilize motor fuel tax funds for specific projects. The Illinois Department of Transportation requires that specific uses be identified and specific amounts of dollars be identified. And that's what these proposals are for. One is for maintenance of the Illinois Highway Code. That's for $140,000.
Where's that at?
That is-
It's on the municipal estimate maintenance code.
And the reason this is very, very important, I would want this done because it will identify what we're actually supposed to use these funds for. Nothing more, nothing less. It must be used for these outlined things, for motor fuel tax funds. It cannot be used for anything other than that.
Right, Mayor,
Yes, sir.
just a question and a comment, I guess.
Misuse.
It looks like this 140, you know, and I support the resolution, but the $140,000 seems to be tied to these, basically these pavement markings, snow and ice control, sidewalk and concrete R&R. I guess that's resurfacing and repair. So that's kind of a budget for the motor fuel tax.
Yes.
My question then would be if we go ahead and get the hot box related equipment so we can, you know, repair the potholes
Yes, sir.
in the village, would we have to do another resolution essentially, can those funds be taken out of the motor fuel tax since they're going to be used for maintaining the streets?
I would have to look into that. We may have to pass another resolution. It would also depend on how much, I don't know the villages, how much they receive in motor fuel tax funds per year.
Yeah, well, we got some things in the horizon, you know.
Correct.
Yeah, but if we should be able to purchase that downstream, then it could then subsequently be used, that cost for motor fuel tax, if we don't have the resources now, but eventually, when we do have more motor fuel tax, can we then use those?
Yes, as long as it's identified and provided for the Illinois Department of Transportation.
Okay, and I don't know if you have the answer to this also, in this municipal estimate of maintenance costs, the big number is a $65,000 for the sidewalk and concrete, I guess it's repair and replacement. Is that tied to that CDBG grant that we got for doing
Will
the,
County.
yeah, for the
On that
repairs?
That,
That's our portion of it, or?
I don't have the answer to that question.
Okay, all
Well,
right.
I can speak to that,
Okay.
the CBDG grant, advisory committee in Will County. And there are certain, fundings that they do, we are setting aside to a lot of different villages. So we have a meeting coming up soon, and I can probably address that at that point with you.
Okay.
But I was at the Planning Commission, but I say for our other phase, we do have fundings of $1.5 million coming in for another, I think that's for the Cicero project. They still have that on the books, and it's been awarded, so that we will have to use that for that particular project.
The figures that are shown on the municipal estimate of maintenance costs, these were prepared by the village engineers.
Right. And that letter really should have been sent out by someone else, but anyway, he did a great job of making sure that it goes correctly. Okay, so is that a goal for the next agenda, everyone?
Yeah.
Sure that we get that, those fundings, okay. He's gonna send it, here's the paper I want you to see. This is the paper, this form is completed by IDOT. So the paper so you can see that, here it is right here, okay? Good. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, that's a go for the next, and we already talked about 5814, that's done. Budget amendment, $3,000 for Clerk Jones training allocations. Want to discuss that? What is this?
Mayor, I think it ought to be 10, but that's just me.
No, not for me. We don't have any fundings. So,
Yeah, and the public needs to know that's really supposed to be reducing our travel costs somewhat also, so that we're still within the number that the board originally approved.
okay, so, okay, let me get this straight. So you guys both all got $4,600 apiece, except myself, to use for training. Budgeted, yeah, you budgeted $4,600 apiece by times 6 people, which equals 24,000, I think, a round number. So you all are giving $500 to, out of your $4,600 to the clerk. That's agreed? Okay.
If somebody disagrees, they can take it out of mine.
Okay, yeah, let's see, doesn't go anywhere. Okay. All right, so the clerk now gets $3,000 to the agenda. I'm saying, I know you're hard. I'm just trying to make sure we get $5,000 or $3,000 for our clerk for training. Okay, that's a go for the next agenda. Discussion of trustees meeting schedule 2018. Okay, that's it, that's all.
Actually, I had a
Scheduling,
There's a couple of dates that need to be adjusted,
okay,
unless we're moving them up.
okay, yes, sir.
February,
Wait a minute, hold on, he has a question. So what should we do?
Should we include,
We can't hear you
40
guys.
should we, I'm sorry, should we include 4,600 for Madam Clerk or just subtract from ours?
Subtraction from yours.
Trustee,
What about,
Since you agreed, you all agreed.
trustee McMullen.
she did
You
the
won't give-
same as, she,
No,
Trustee
you won't
McMullen.
get shit.
yes, ma'am.
Thank you, but I do not need it. This budget year ends April 31st,
Okay.
and I've only got one training seminar that I'm going to attend.
Okay.
Because I've been paying out of my pocket. This one's out of state. And so I don't need more than this. Thank
Okay.
you. So thank you, guys.
All right.
Okay, so I understand you minus. Okay, now which one,
question.
Yes, ma'am.
February 20th, should it be February 27th?
which one?
I'm sorry, the Board of Trustees regular meetings. The fourth Tuesday, is that February 27th or February 20th?
You're correct.
Okay, March 20th, the same thing, Board of Trustees regular meeting.
You're right, and I gave you guys the wrong copy. I had the dates right when
until March 27th. And then for Human Services Special Events Committee, June 15th is a Friday. Should that be June 16th?
Okay.
Just, yeah.
I come to know.
Oh, that's it.
Read this list and then copied the book.
Okay, that's on.
Because I looked at 2019.
June 16th.
Yeah, so I will make these dates coincide with the next day.
Okay, I want to announce this very, very happily.
Yeah, the finance committee takes a wrong.
Yeah, oh, I want to announce
That's
this.
what I'm saying.
We'll check it, all right.
I want to put this out here. Oh, hello. Hello, wait, I can't. Hello, hello.
Yeah, man,
Okay.
where everything's dead.
I want to say, I know, like us, I'm happy to say, and very, very happy to say with this new board, that we're bringing back these committees that people can get involved with. They can get involved with their village and be like we used to be and have a lot of fun and positive things that be done in the village. We're bringing back the board of, well, we have the Board Fire Police Commission, the Code Enforcement Committee, Education Advisory Committee, the Finance Committee, Human Services Special Events Committee, which has a lot of subcommittees underneath it, such as Black History Month, Federal Women's Month. All those committees are under that. Information Technology and Cable Committee. And, no, we did not say the Park and Rec. That was not supposed to come back, the Park and Rec Committee.
Oh, I didn't know.
No, take that off. Plan Commission, Public Safety Committee, Senior Citizen Committee, Public Safety and Utility Committee, and our Veteran Affairs Committee. I'm very, very happy the fact that these committees, and anyone that's interested, please contact the board, the village, or you contact me and put in an application. I think they're online. Clerk G. Jones, are they online? The application, because we do have a new, we do have a new application that I will be submitting, where you have it online, because there are some revisions that need to be made that we never had before. We're not dealing with the 70s stuff anymore. Things have changed. Like this village town center hasn't been here. It wasn't even here in the 70s. We don't even need to do this. We need to make things change, make things positive, let people get involved, and let them know where they live and what they're doing, and put their minds on a positive note. So, thank you so very much. Trustee?
Can we maybe just to help me remember
Yes.
who's the liaison for each?
Okay, I will be sending that out, because right now you are the liaison for Special Events Committee, Human Services Special Events Committee. I know, and we did combine something, Trustee Milton Peggy will let you know. We had a talk to Clerk P. Jones as far as economic development is under code enforcement. And I know you've been working with that, but the other ones I'll send something out for you all to be, Trustee, oh goodness, I'm so tired. Trustee McMullen is on Information Technology and Cable Committee. Trustee Brooks is going to be on the Public Utilities, the Liaison to Public Utilities Committee. So, code enforcement, so I'm going to talk to you, Trustee Payne, about that. Trustee Liz Williams, I'm not sure which one you wanted to be the liaison. I'll get back with you on that. Okay? Okay, and I'm on all of them. So thank you so very much, board, for doing this. This means so much to so many people. Please, please get involved, put in an application, and we will be posting this on the website and at Village Hall. And that's all we have for tonight.
That's it?
Yes, can you find one more? Yes, ma'am.
We'll be moving this to the.
Yes, it will be. It's a go.
I will correct.
This is a go. Right? All right. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Wilson, second. Trustee Brooks. All in favor, roll call.
All in favor?
All in favor? It is 11:30 at night. You earned your check tonight.
Wait a minute, 11:32.
11:32. Have a great